Hello everyone, it's me, Star Wars! Let's learn to have a great writing for story with character development. For the win, let's go!
Have you ever really thought much about Han Solo's rank in the rebellion?
General Solo?
What? General? Really? The last time the rebellion saw Han Solo before this, he was planning to bail on everyone.
I thought you had decided to stay.
Well, the bounty hunter we ran into in Lord Mendel changed my mind.
Then he gets frozen in carbonite for a year, gets forgiven, and immediately gets promoted to general? What? How does that even make any sort of sense?
Well, maybe it's a trap!
No wonder the rebellion ends up with such tactical geniuses as Vice Admiral Holdo. I wonder how long she spent in carbonite. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory!
Hello Internet! Welcome to Film Theory! Hello!
Last chance to hop into an escape pod if you want to avoid spoilers for Solo and, well, the entire Star Wars franchise, because not only are we heading straight into the asteroid field of movie plot points, but this theory might actually spoil Han Solo for you as a character across the Star Wars universe.
Alright, so, I'm sorry, maybe a lot of spoilers, maybe a lot of plot holes. Sorry.
But hey, you won't be alone. As a fellow Star Wars fan over here, I was as excited about a Han Solo prequel as anyone. And that was about like, meh, I'm kind of excited about this. But after watching it, I was left with no choice. I had to come to terms with the only conclusion you can about Han Solo. The handsome, hunky space cowboy we all once knew and had confusing feelings about is actually nothing but an overhyped poser. That's right. The quote-unquote best pilot in the galaxy is nothing but a credit-stealing lackey whose success in the entire Star Wars franchise is a complete and total farce.
Whoa! Wait, what? He lied? He fooled us? Fooled
Han
us?
Solo is a lie. Period. End of story. He sucks. And it's all thanks to what we see in the prequel.
So it's like more like a trick, Malinger?
Are you still there? Okay,
I'm
great.
here.
For the 12 of you who didn't rage quit this video after me saying all of that, first off, I'm gonna prove that everything I just said is true, and secondly, I'm gonna make a believer out of you too. On with the theory! Since apparently none of you went to see Solo in theaters, I'll catch you up on this completely predictable plot of this latest movie. Young Han Solo starts the movie by escaping his crappy home planet, but oops, he leaves his girlfriend Kira, nope, not that one either, Kira behind. After debating whether to abandon her for less time than it took me to say this sentence, he's like, peace, I'm out of here. Han first goes to the Imperial service, but as snooty highbrow thief, he finds the work distasteful. So he runs away and becomes a smuggler. After completely ruining his smuggler mate's business prospects and killing off a couple dozen of them in the process, he wins the Millennium Falcon from Lando in a card game. Lando and his highly progressive droid L337 go with Han on a mission to retrieve a MacGuffin. I mean, a hyper-evolved energy source. And
MacGuffin, of course.
in the process, they complete the legendary Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs, if you round down. So this all sounds like yet another fun and wacky Star Wars adventure. So why am I going so hard on Han? Well, this movie is supposed to establish to us why Han has such an amazing reputation as a pilot and a smuggler by the time we reach the original Star Wars trilogy. But if you actually look at the movie, then go back and even look at episodes 4 through 6 of the original trilogy, you can see that Han actually sucks at all those things. Roll the tape. Everything starts when you see him at the opening of Solo, where, by the way, he's not a pilot yet and doesn't have experience flying anything but some measly hovercraft. They make that very clear in the opening moments. And the early scenes of the movie show that he's not even good at handling those hovercraft. The only thing we know he does successfully is hotwire a hover car, which means that he's skilled enough to have watched about 2 YouTube videos on how to hotwire something. Yes, those videos exist, and no, you shouldn't watch them for anything but educational purposes. Once we see him steal a vehicle, he cruises away in a classic Star Wars style chase scene, and this becomes the first moment where we see his great piloting skills put to the test.
Huh, interesting. His great piloting skills put to a test. Let's go.
He goes in for the classic thread the needle maneuver he would later be known for, and completely fails. He biffs it, he crashes, the ship is ruined. But okay, I hear you saying it already, this movie is to show him growing. He can't start off being amazing at everything. The Karate Kid doesn't wax off perfectly his first time either. And I hear you, I understand that. I went into this movie expecting that. But what?
Yes, there's character development into
But
it.
if I told you that Han never learns to fly, that this level of piloting ineptitude is where Han starts and where he stays for all the rest of his time alive. Don't believe me? Let's keep going. After we establish that Han sucks at flying at the beginning of the movie, we watch him continue to suck the next time he gets a chance behind the wheel. Or, I guess planes don't have wheels, so the next time he takes the stick? That doesn't sound right either. We gotta really come up with some better piloting metaphors. Anyway, we see Han join the Imperial Army expecting to learn to fly, but we then fast forward 3 years and he's a boots-on-the-ground grunt. He's not a pilot. He was expelled from flight school.
He was kicked out of the flight academy.
We never actually get a sense of how much training he receives, but based on what we see next, it couldn't have been much. The next time we see Han fly is with his smuggler friend Beckett.
I'm putting together a crew. You in?
Which, if you've seen the movie, can't really be called a success. While trying to steal hyperfuel from a train, they're attacked by some marauders on flying motorcycles. Their getaway driver is shot and killed, leaving Han in the pilot's seat. And what's our ace flyer to do? He literally runs into the side of a mountain. With 2 or 3 motorcycle riders to his left, he doesn't think to, I don't know, turn right, and instead runs himself headlong into the mountain, dropping the hyperfuel, leaving the mission a complete disaster with 2 people dead and literally nothing to show for it. Goodbye mission, goodbye smuggler money, and thanks a lot, Han.
Mission fail! Han blew it! Blame him lah, of course.
Solo. And just to reiterate, we're 45 minutes into the movie at this point, and there is still no learning curve on Han's piloting abilities. Han hasn't learned anything about being a pilot, or a smuggler for that matter, between the first scene and now. In fact, his piloting is just more deadly and more costly than it ever has been. But I know you Star Wars fans are really persistent, and you're still making arguments here that
Star Wars fan, get it, fan?
none of these early scenes matter because by the end of the movie, Han is an amazing pilot. He's your man crush Monday and there's nothing I can say to change your mind. Well, let's just look at that supposedly amazing Kessel Run from the end of the movie, and in the meantime, prepare for your man crush to be totally crushed, man. Let's look at how the Kessel Run goes down.
Man crush become totally crushed? Okay.
Typical Han style, he promises that he can retrieve raw, completely unstable hyperfuel from Kessel, which is a planet that just so happens to be a hop, skip, and a jump through a maelstrom that's unnavigable for most pilots.
Coincidence?
But not for ol' Han, or should I say not for Lando and L337. And here's where Han's piloting really starts to unravel. Let's talk about L337, the robo-justice warrior whose name alone is just pure cringe since it's a bunch of movie execs trying to be cool by naming their robot in leet speak. According to Lando, one of the reasons L3 is so advanced and eccentric is the fact that she hasn't had her memory wiped in years. The advantage this gives her is that now she has a vast navigational record that serves as the most detailed and nuanced map in the galaxy.
With a lot of memories and a lot of experience involved.
Such incredible records not only allow L3 to travel efficiently, but also let her to make maneuvers through dangerous, poorly charted areas like asteroid fields, or in the case of our Kessel Run, the Maelstrom. She's in charge of overseeing the navigation of the Millennium Falcon safely through the Maelstrom on the way to Kessel, which she does without even flexing. But then on Kessel, something unexpected happens. Namely, everyone on board becomes a social justice warrior too. While on Kessel, L337 tries to free her fellow robots from an eternity of servitude, but gets shot in the process. Just when she's about to go offline permanently, Lando uploads her data into the Millennium Falcon to save her AI and bolster the ship's navigational abilities, in the process linking her consciousness with the ship forever. And this is the linchpin in exposing Han Solo's lies. We now have a droid's consciousness linked with the Millennium Falcon, specifically a piloting droid, with what's established as the most robust navigational knowledge in the galaxy. movie. It's only after this point that we see Han Solo actually perform impressive piloting maneuvers, and you'll notice it's only ever in the Millennium Falcon. Don't believe me? Look at this. At the end of Solo, we see Han finally pull off his signature thread the needle maneuver. It bookends his failure with the move earlier on in the movie with the hover cars and is meant to show the growth of his skills, right? He then goes on to do it twice more throughout the series. First in The Empire Strikes Back while he navigates the asteroid, and then again, even more famously, to escape the cave.
No cave.
But here's the thing, it's not him pulling off those maneuvers, it's L3. We know this not because we see him being a terrible pilot later, but because we see plenty of other characters who are definitely not pilots suddenly becoming amazing at flying as soon as you put them at the helm of the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, so it was not because they are good pilots, it's just that they have a good plane. Okay, or they have a good robot to maneuver the machine.
In Return of the Jedi, a film in which Han never pilots the Falcon on screen, Lando gets a hold of the Falcon and pulls off multiple close maneuvers, including the same thread-the-needle move getting through the core of the second Death Star. And in case you think that Lando might have perfected the move in the time that he owned the ship, how about someone who has never flown before, period? When Rey flies the Falcon for the first time in her life, she manages to pull off the same exact move. And then again, a few weeks later on Crate, she does it one more time for good measure.
Oh my god, it's something similar to a plot armor, like David X McLaren.
And we know it can't be Rey's parents passing on good piloting skills since, you know,
They're filthy junk traders.
that's one that's gonna come back and bite him a couple times if my theories have anything to say about it. Long story short, the common thread through all of this, it's not the pilot skills, it's the ship. The ship with L337, the most advanced piloting droid in the galaxy built into its system. Rey may not realize how much the Falcon is actually helping her out, but Han certainly knows. Have you ever stopped to notice how Han is rarely the person flying when the ship is under attack? In episode 4, he actively gives up piloting to Chewie so he could have more fun, be more helpful by hopping into one of the turrets. In episode 5, neither Han nor Chewie are in the cockpit when the Falcon is actively under Imperial fire.
Han, get out here!
But the ship somehow manages to come out unscathed.
Somehow.
And how about all those times that Han talks about his evasive maneuvers?
Besides, I know a few maneuvers, we'll lose them.
Yeah, flying in a straight line. Real evasive there, Han. You'll notice that he does this while the navigational system, i.e. L3, is busy charting a hyperspace route.
We'll be safe enough once we make the jump to hyperspace.
Let's face it, his name should be Han Didn't Do It Solo. Honestly, considering the origin of his name in Solo, wouldn't be much dumber. Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, I'm sorry to dash your dreams of hunky Han, the great star pilot. But hey, if you have your heart set on becoming a great pilot like Han Solo when you grow up, now you know that even without stepping foot in a cockpit, you've probably already hit the benchmark, since let's face it, the bar is pretty darn low. The only question this theory leaves me with is one I'm gonna leave you with now too. Did the filmmakers know? I hate to say it, but this theory is backed up with a lot of evidence across the movies, so much so that I would actually speculate that the makers of Solo may have known what they were doing here. Think about it. The whole movie plays up this idea that L3 is a liberated droid. She's a cocky pilot, she's too good for Lando's advances, and she takes it upon herself to liberate all droids in the Star Wars universe. And then she ends up literally buried in the wiring of the Millennium Falcon. In the meantime, Han Solo, a human who never accomplishes anything without her help, gets all of the credit for her work, spending the next 3 movies bragging about all his amazing flying abilities.
Wow, so technically speaking is Han, he never did it solo.
Did Lucas and Disney intend to show how incredibly unfair the situation is? I don't know, but if so, man, that makes me like this movie a whole lot more. And with how much I really didn't like the movie, that helps a lot. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut.
Wow. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that this video has been very interesting and unique to watch for you. Sincerest appreciation and gratitude towards everyone for showing your attention and positivity towards me and my channel. Thank you so much. Really grateful for it. And if you do like this video, please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Once again, let me repeat one more time. It is like, share and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have any questions down below. Don't forget to follow my channel, and I sincerely appreciate all of your support and encouragement for my work. Thank you all so much, and I hope to see you all in my next video. But hey, that's just But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye bye! Thank you all so much. Subscribe! Thank you.